Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again. In this YouTube astrological segment, I'm going to be giving you my Leo August 2018 horoscope forecast. And yes, this does apply and pertain to the sun, moon, and ascendant. Anyway, people, first thing up is, as far as August goes, the sun will be in Leo from the 1st until the 23rd. So the first house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. So at this time for Leo, there could be a strong concentration of energy, focus, attention on the self, the outlook on life, making a first impression, the physical body, and especially if this is the actual first house in one's actual literal natal chart. Now, new beginnings, also people connected with the early childhood, and also the appearance. And really, this could be done, given that this is Leo energy, done with a lot of Leo ferocity, self-assuredness, confidence, pride, dignity, generosity. And really, it could be done in a flamboyant way, especially in matters connected with the appearance at this time and the physical body. And again, as I stated before, especially if this is actually connected with the actual first house in one's natal chart. And these matters can also be done in a very extravagant manner, spending a lot of money on these matters, perhaps, and also with a lot of courage and fortitude. Anyway, next thing up is, as far as August goes, the sun will be in Virgo from the 23rd until the 31st. So the second house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. At this time, there could be a strong concentration of energy, attention, and focus on monetary matters, finances, resources, possessions, one's self-worth and self-esteem, and values, and generating income. Now, given that this is Virgo energy, this could be done perhaps in somewhat worrisome manner to some degree, with a lot of, in a very systematic and organized manner, or organizing and compartmentalizing monetary matters can be a strong focus at this time for Leo. And also these matters may be done in a very methodical, detail-oriented manner with a lot of analysis, and a lot of pensive energy, maybe some thought, a lot of thoughtfulness, and being very scrupulous and meticulous and very exacting and precise over the second house matters. Now, Leo generally doesn't have much issues with self-esteem and self-worth, but if there is a problem going on at this time with those issues may be handled in that Virgo-like kind of a systematic and methodical type manner to get that greater self-esteem and self-worth. Well, anyway, people, the next thing up is there will be a partial solar eclipse in Leo on August 11th, so the first house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. At this time for Leo, this could be a time where you're talking about the first house of new beginnings. And remember that when you're talking about a solar eclipse, it's like a new moon, but it can have a more powerful impact, and the impact can be much more sustained, and it can sometimes have life-altering events can happen because of this. And now, this could be a new Leo-like beginning for Leo, something with golf, entertainment, cardiology, creativity, maybe working with children, doing something with performance, and something that could be attention getting. This could be a new period of just really perhaps emphasizing Leo energy in general on a first impression, and maybe even being more extroverted and gregarious on a first impression, more generous perhaps with people that were prominent in your early childhood. And these things might lead to something really maybe spectacular and life-altering. It could be too that you might rekindle a Leo connection from your early childhood. It could be it could be an actual sun, moon, or ascendant in Leo, or one that embodies Leo-like characteristics. This is about a time where you might be taking strong pride in your own interests and yourself in general. It could have been something where you might have been doing a lot for other people, and it might be a time where maybe you had procrastinated on doing things for yourself, and perhaps as a result, a time where you maybe decide to start doing a new period of the self right now. and really doing this with a lot of pride and a lot of dignity as well. And also maybe it could also be about making it could be extravagance connected with the self, a new period of that where you might feel like you might need to put really about putting a little bit more money into yourself at this time than usual. So anyway, and really about your outlook on life as well, and taking more pride in that, and really and really having maybe more self-assuredness and confidence in connection with that. So anyway, the next thing up is there will be a full moon in Pisces on August 26th. So the 8th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. So at this time for Leo, this could be in some cases a completion or culmination, perhaps of a spiritual transformation, or maybe in detox in some cases. It could be maybe something connected with the metaphysical, which could include astrology. That might be maybe complete, maybe something that that really another thing could be. This could be also the unveiling or revelation of a deceptive or duplicitous sexual partner, one that maybe there might be some kind of betrayal, and also, or maybe a deceptive or duplicitous tax examiner, insurance person. It could be a period too, or maybe even something in matters connected with inheritance as well. And also, when you're talking about a full moon, this is about showing the full emotional energy of the sign. And given that this is Pisces, this could be about injecting a lot of full compassionate, empathetic energy, and really emotional energy, and really self-sacrificing energy, perhaps in matters connected with shared resources and emotional and moral support. And this could also be in some cases the unveiling or revelation perhaps of maybe the sexual partner, again, that may be, you know, somewhat deceptive or duplicitous, or maybe where you become tired or exasperated and full of somebody connected with the 8th house. It could be somebody that you might be in a business shared resources connection with, or maybe a sexual partner, someone you're in an intimate relationship with, and you might become tired and exasperated and full, maybe of the person being overly passive, lethargic, apathetic, perhaps maybe deceptive or duplicitous, and really those are some things that to look at as far as that goes. Now anyway, next thing up is Mercury will be in Leo. It will be retrograde from the 1st until the 19th, and the 1st house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. At this time, you could be doing could be about given that retrograde period, you might be reviewing gregariousness and extroversion, showing this more on a first impression, especially like if you're going to do like maybe a job interview. Also too, maybe and also more confidence, self-assuredness, and talking about boasting maybe about your good qualities to some degree. But also this could be about really talking about the self with a lot of self-assuredness and confidence. And remember that Mercury is more than just communication. It can be about siblings, neighbors, and Leo could be Leo, Sun, Moon, Ascendant siblings and neighbors, or ones that embody Leo-like characteristics might have a strong impact, figure more prominently in your outlook on life, in your appearance, and might even motivate you to some kind of new beginnings as well. And also speaking with more authority at this time, and really maybe in conviction, and maybe even with Leo-like ferocity about yourself, about your positive attributes. You may be more loquacious than usual at this time, but guard against being a conversation dominator as well. So anyway, well, the next thing up is Venus will be in Virgo as far as August goes, from the 1st until the 6th. So the 2nd house is what will be emphasized and highlighted for Leo. So at this time, this could be a time where if you're unattached, Leo, you might find a Virgo Sun, Moon, Ascendant, or one that embodies Virgo-like characteristics, perhaps at the place where you generate income. It could be someone that really factors in strongly into your self-esteem and self-worth. And also, you might, this could be a time where you have a strong love and enjoyment for extrapolation of financial data and making those projections, perhaps. And also about, this could be what you might value more in analyzing and scrutinizing your finances a little bit more so than usual, and your possessions, your resources. And also, too, it could be that you might be encountering more, maybe people that you're just connected with, your relationships in general, and the people in them might be a little bit more judgmental and critical, which of course might have some effect on your self-esteem and self-worth. Also, this can manifest perhaps in spending frugally on things to make you feel better. It could be things connected with it could be things connected with the health, such as fitness, exercise equipment, and nutrition as well. And it could be a strong period for making money through a Virgo outlet. It could be something with health, nutrition, doing some kind of data analyst work or data entry, some computer programming, something that could require acute attention to detail. Anyway, next thing up is Venus will be in Libra as far as August goes, from the 6th until the 31st. So the third house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. At this time for Leo, Leo needs to be careful to avoid perhaps manipulative behavior at this time. When you're talking about Venus in the third house, this could be something that could happen, and using perhaps superficial charm at this time as well, maybe in connection with siblings and neighbors. It could be too where really you might have a strong love of tact, diplomacy, refinement, and peace, perhaps with neighbors and cousins at this time, siblings as well. And if you're unattached, Leo, you might connect with a Libra sun, moon, or ascendant, or one that simply embodies Libra-like characteristics. It could be someone in your neighborhood, might even be somebody you knew from your early education, someone that you might see frequently in short journeys, perhaps. And it could be somebody that you really will be able to communicate well with. It could also be, the way this could manifest perhaps, is a strong love of fairness and balance, perhaps in matters perhaps connected with your short journeys, and matters with siblings and neighbors at this time. So, and really the love of learning in a balanced manner at this time as well. So anyway, well, the next thing up is Mars will be in Aquarius, and it will be, as far as August goes, from the 1st until the 13th, it will be retrograde, and the 7th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. So anyway, this could be a time for Leo where Leo might be injecting a lot of selfless and humanitarian energy into others in general, the significant other perhaps, and even business partnerships. This could be too where this could be about unpredictable, acrimonious behavior in connection with open adversaries, legal opponents even. And also, too, given that it's going to be retrograde, this could be going back perhaps to an Aquarius-like project that you may have collaborated on with others. It could have been something connected with electronics, computers, maybe something with astronomy, astrology, something innovative perhaps, and a lot of sporadic and erratic energy perhaps into relationships, or maybe even with matters with the grandmother in some cases, and also maybe into matters also connected with negotiations as well. So anyway, well, the next thing up is as far as August goes, Mars will be in Capricorn from the 13th until the 31st. It will be retrograde from the 13th until the 28th, and the 6th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. So at this time, this could be about a lot of serious and disciplined energy injected into work, employment, and health-related matters. given that this is retrograde for most of this period, could be going back to a Capricorn sexual relationship, maybe in your daily routine, one that could be perhaps with a Capricorn sun, moon, or ascendant, or one that embodies those characteristics, or one that was just very consistent, orthodox, and conventional. It might be somewhat regimented. There's also a little greater propensity for accidents at work during this time than usual, and the situation perhaps with fellow employees might be a little bit more acrimonious and contentious, and there might be arguments with them over responsibilities as well. And really too, be careful. We're talking about the house of health, so not to really be careful regarding overexertion at this time, and maybe taking on maybe more than one could handle, and really all this energy into responsibilities at work that could be very consistent but may take its toll on somebody. And it'd also be the situations with an aunt or uncle might be a little bit more contentious and acrimonious than usual. There could be arguments over Capricorn related things, such as something with government and politics or some kind of business matters. So anyway, next thing up is Jupiter will be in Scorpio. In the 4th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. So this could be about perhaps some luck and fortune through making a major transformation at this time at home. It could be through some home remodeling or renovation. It could be very fortuitous for going beyond subterfuge and what's superficial. Maybe with matters pertaining to people, your family, the less dominant parent, which is often the mother, and also about digging deep into one's roots as well. And also remember, as I've stated before, that Jupiter can be paradoxical. It could be very strongly benign and benevolent, but it could also have a tendency to enlarge and expand. And it may very well enlarge and expand, perhaps nefarious, surreptitious, even manipulative behavior on the home front. So also, too, this could be about putting a lot of exuberance and enthusiasm into Scorpio-like matters at home. It could be, or with people that you're at home with. It could be something connected with locksmithing, the occult, supernatural, astrology, magic, alchemy, something that could be Scorpio related, and also about reviewing perhaps a profound, deep philosophy regarding the end of life, and also about going deep. And it could be very positive, beneficial period for actually going to who you are at the core, and really seeing that and digging deep in order to see that. So anyway, next thing up is Saturn will be in Capricorn. Will be retrograde, and the 6th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. So at this time for Leo, there could be at this time there can be some restrictions and limitations in work and health related matters. It could be making you feel melancholy or despondent, and also, given that it's retrograde, you might be reviewing some fears and some serious responsibilities connected with your health, your employment, things in your daily routine, even matters with aunts and an aunt or uncle. And also, too, this could be a time, too, where, an aunt or an uncle or someone in your daily routine might be even a pet in some cases, might be sickly and debilitated, and you may be taking care of him or her. And it could be something related with the knees or the bones or the joints, something Capricorn related, and it might be making you feel really sad and dejected as well. Now, and also remember, given that this is going to be retrograde, when you have Saturn retrograde, sometimes one may not be necessarily cognizant of one's limitations at this time. So it could result in working too laboriously, too hard at this time. And especially, you're talking about the 6th house and something work related at your employment, or doing something to improve your health, such as working out vigorously. Something overly regimented, overly consistent could be to your detriment. So just it's time to really exercise, no pun intended. Oh yeah, maybe there was a little precautions at this time. So anyway, next thing up is Uranus will be in Taurus still, so the 10th house as well will be emphasized and highlighted. So at this time for Leo, there may be some unusual persistence in matters connected with one's career and attaining notoriety and recognition. It could be that at this time that Taurus friendships or ones that embody Taurus-like characteristics might figure more prominently in your success, maybe in career matters, and also attaining notoriety and recognition and helping you in terms of improving your social status and stature in life. And also, too, you might be seeing that the dominant parent, which is often the father or an authority figure, might be showing some more of an unusual, obstinate, and stubborn nature than usual. And also the formulation of new ways to make money might help you improve your stature in life. There might be matters with your reputation that might be going through some weird fluctuations or might be very erratic and sporadic at this time. And there may be some instability in career-related matters as well at this time. But anyway, people, sorry about that. Next thing up, though, I want to talk about Neptune in Pisces. Well, Neptune will be in Pisces, so the 8th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. So at this time for Leo, well, this could be a time for Leo where things in 8th house related matters might be somewhat nebulous and unclear. It could be a sexual partner, someone you're in an intimate relationship with, or maybe he or she may succumb to some kind of drug or alcohol usage. You might even feel your libido might be dissipating or dissolving a little bit at this time. You may be going through some detox transformation at this time, or there might be a spiritual one given during this period. And taxes, matters pertaining to taxes, insurance might be a little bit confounding and confusing. You might be more susceptible to credit card fraud or deception at this time than usual. Especially a lot of this, of course, can depend on the aspects this makes to other points in your natal chart. Say Neptune, transit Neptune is making an adverse aspect to your natal Venus. Well, this could give a greater propensity for some kind of credit card fraud at this time. And this could be, this really too, at this time as well, can be about where you might feel that emotional and moral support, it might be dissipating and dissolving as well. And also to be very careful, this is the house connected with death, the 8th house. So especially if you're somebody, that even, drinks, casually or socially, to maybe not overdo it, because this could be a greater propensity for dying in matters connected with alcohol, such as a DUI or not DUI, but maybe having a fatal accident due to maybe driving while intoxicated. So that is something just to consider at this time. So anyway, next thing up is Pluto will be in Capricorn still, so the 6th house as well be emphasized and highlighted. Now, I know a lot of you don't want me to talk about it, but I'm going to anyway, the dreaded D word. In some cases, this could signify an actual literal death of perhaps an aunt, an uncle, somebody that may be prominent in your place of employment. Sadly, it could be a pet in some cases. It could be someone prominent in your health life. Also, too, Pluto is about obliteration and destruction. This could be, sadly, in some cases, you might be at least very close to like this obliteration of your health. But remember that Pluto is about regeneration and rebirth. It can be about revitalization. And it could, where something is torn down with Pluto, can often be replaced later on. And if you feel as if, your health is everything but depleted completely, you might go through revitalization at some point with it and get back up as far as your health goes. Also, too, this might be, it manifests perhaps in power struggles at your place of employment in some cases, but also this could be about digging deep into health matters as well and getting to the bottom of things, going beyond the superficial, perhaps. And also getting more power back in your daily routine at this time as well. And And it could be about power issues and control issues with people that might be prominent in your daily routine. And anyway, well, the next thing up is the North Node will be in Leo. Still, so the first house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. So at this time for Leo, well, when you're talking about the North Node in transit, this could be about having to confront or address some issue. And this could be about having to confront perhaps somebody maybe from your early childhood that might be very domineering, overbearing, arrogant, egotistical, bombastic, and also about at this time too about being directed toward taking really pride in making a good first impression, and also really about perhaps being directed toward a Leo-like new beginning, such as something with theater, acting, creativity, some kind of film production, something that might be attention-seeking, some kind of performing. It could be also maybe cardiology could be another example, such maybe doing something, working in some kind of party or amusement place or store like that. So anyway, and also being really being more, I guess you could say, about your appearance, especially if this is actually at your first house in your actual natal chart, and really taking more pride in that, and maybe about extravagance in connection with that, and also maybe having to spend a little bit more on yourself than usual, or maybe in addressing a nature where you're overly extravagant and spending an exorbitant amount of money on things where you don't necessarily have to do that at this time. So anyway, well, the next thing up is the Black Moon Lilith will be in Capricorn as far as August goes, from the 1st until the 6th. So the 6th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. Now, at this time for Leo, this could be about having, perhaps this could be perhaps a revelation or unveiling of somebody in your place of employment that might be showing some ruthless, tyrannical, overambitious, undemonstrative, very cold qualities. It could also be an aunt or an uncle. This could be maybe someone that you know well in your daily routine that you see. It could be someone that might be using, perhaps they're using sex to attain some kind of ambitions. It could be career related. Also too, this could be about at the same time the revelation or unveiling of a formidable Capricorn adversary. It could be a Capricorn sun, moon, or ascendant, or simply one that embodies Capricorn-like characteristics. It could be someone in your daily routine, someone prominent in your work or health life. In some cases could be an aunt or an uncle. But remember, when you're talking about the Black Moon Lilith, this could also be about something that gets let out of the bag, so to speak, that you didn't want to come out of the bag, but for whatever reason, it just does. And it could be about maybe there might be something very limiting or restricting and depressing regarding your daily routine, or maybe some health-related matter that you just didn't want people to know about for some reason. Could be Capricorn-related. It could be something with the knees, the bones, or the joints, or even something with the skin, perhaps. So, anyway. Well, the next thing up is there will be the Black Moon Lilith, as far as August goes, will be in Aquarius from the 6th until the 31st. So the 7th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. So at this time for Leo, this could be in some cases about revelation or unveiling of a formidable Aquarius adversary. It could be an Aquarius sun, moon, or ascendant, or simply one that embodies Aquarius-like characteristics. It could be somebody, it could be in some cases a grandmother, it could be maybe somebody that you're in a relationship with, it could be a significant other, it may even be a legal opponent. And also too, this could be about a time where maybe a grandmother or significant other might be showing, or somebody you're in a strong relationship with might be showing some very bizarre, idiosyncratic, or unusual behavior at this time. And also too, really The black moon lilith can be about what could be, about what could put one in a strong state of fright or trepidation. And it could be about maybe having a very, maybe having just a completely conventional orthodox relationship, or one where you don't have your freedom, perhaps in your independence. And anyway, this could be a time too where, I mean, we were talking about the black moon lilith. This could be about what something that gets let out of the bag, so to speak, but you didn't want out of the bag, but it does come out. So what this could be about, perhaps this could be about maybe some kind of unusual or unorthodox relationship you might be in, or maybe there's some kind of bizarre, unusual court case you may be involved in at this time as well. It's something along those lines could be a possibility at this time, and something that just might be, unconventional about about a lot of your relationships in general, that you don't want really to come out, but for whatever reason may come out anyway. So anyway, well, last but not least, Chiron will be in Aries still, so the 9th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. So at this time, when you're talking about Chiron, it could be about emotional wounds and suffering. And this could be about there may be some situations with in-laws, grandchildren that might be contentious or acrimonious, even combative. They might be coming figurative headaches, so to speak. This could be about maybe going through some emotional suffering due to lack of assertiveness and aggressiveness in 9th house matters. It could be perhaps matters with in-laws and grandchildren. It could be about higher education or something connected with a religious congregation. It may be about not capitalizing on certain opportunities when they presented themselves. At this time too, this could be as well, really given that this is Chiron in Aries and the 9th house. This could be maybe about, in some cases, lack of confrontational ability with in-laws, grandchildren, people at a religious congregation. Really not maybe not capitalizing on opportunities for publishing, higher education. Remember that Chiron in Aries can be about unworthiness as well. And at this time, you might feel some sense of unworthiness and not fitting in, maybe with the the family as far as in-laws and grandchildren go, or maybe even a religious congregation. You might feel like that outcast syndrome, so to speak, going on as far as those things go. So anyway, people. Well, what I want to get to as well is that remember that Chiron is the wounded healer. So in the ways that you might be struggling or going through some emotional suffering in connection with Chiron in Aries and the 9th house, you could help others deal with comparable situations and do so with a lot of Aries like courage, fortitude, assertiveness, aggressiveness, and initiative. Anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment for my Leo August 2018 horoscope forecast. Stay tuned next time, where I'm going to be giving you my take on the July 12th, 2018 partial solar eclipse in Cancer. Two things I want to get with you on before I head out. Firstly, the stars may impel but do not compel. And secondly, never isolate any single astrological element, aspect, planetary placement, position, configuration, influence, or what have you, and make an analysis of a person, astrologically speaking, based on this alone, because astrologically speaking, the person is the sum of all their components in their natal chart and not just one. Until next time, people, stay well.